Well, holy shit. The rumors were true. We're getting not one, not two, not three, but 4 Avengers Doomsday trailers. That's insane. So let's talk about this shit. So first of all, why is this like confirmed? Like, why do people think this is real? Well, I'll remind you, this was a rumor that first came out from Chris Gore in Film Thread. And it kind of seems like now probably what happened was Chris was rubbing elbows with people over at Marvel Studios and somebody let something slip. And then Chris kind of reported it as rumor. And it feels like that's accurate now. The main reason we know this is because the trailers that get attached to these movies in the different parts of the world, they come in through this system. Here's an image that was posted on Reddit, and these are the files that I'm talking about. This system, I believe it's called the Deluxe system, or maybe it's the SMPTE system or whatever, but basically what it means is these things come to the theaters early, but they're encrypted, okay? And so basically right now, rumor is one of the encryption keys has gone out, and some theaters are actually even seeing what is in the first Doomsday trailer. And we'll talk about that, but hang on. The point I'm trying to make here is, look, there's some confusion out here. Some people are like, there's always 4 different versions of a trailer. There's the 2D, the 3D, this format, that format. That is not what is happening right now. You look at these files, it is clearly a 2D, 3D version of what is labeled as Trailer 1. Essentially, other accounts like Cryptic HD came out to confirm that Chris Gore was right. After that happened, Daniel RPK said, guess what? It's not just 3 trailers, it's 4 trailers. Chris Gore came out to say, oh wow, I guess I was wrong. It's actually 4 trailers. And late last night in the Hollywood Reporter's Heat Vision article, Boris Kitt confirmed that Disney is putting 4 different trailers for Doomsday in front of Avatar Fire and Ash. Now, we're going to talk about the whole thing, but just understand for this first part of the video here, this is absolutely real. Like, I guess there's a wild scenario in which Marvel's like, you know what? I don't think we want to do this anymore. And then they pull the plug on it. But that's like highly unlikely. And so basically, guys, there's a 99.9999999% chance that we're getting 4 separate Doomsday trailers all for Avatar. Oh my fucking God. I realize for a lot of folks, this is still new. This is still crazy. What the hell is going on? So let me just kind of explain it. Essentially, they're doing this for 2 different reasons. Number 1 is to sell tickets to Avatar. And unfortunately, it does seem like all of these trailers are going to be locked behind the sort of paywall of going to see Avatar, meaning they're not going to be released digitally. For the first week that they are out, released to the public, technically the only way you can see them is either through a leak and a shitty cell phone thing on Twitter, or you go to Avatar and you watch the theater in a big 3D, 2D format. Currently, it looks like they will hold the trailer to theatrical only for up to a week. I'm kind of thinking it'll just be the weekend business, and then they'll release that trailer publicly, probably to promote the following trailer, which again will follow the same pattern of being locked to theatrical for up to a week before being released to the public. So the first thing they're doing is trying to sell tickets to Avatar because Avatar is crazy expensive. Disney's had a rough year. They definitely want to make bank off of that. And it's absolutely fair that they're doing that. I think a lot of us are like, God damn it. That sucks. But at the same time, I think it is pretty smart marketing. I think it will add some money to the Avatar box office. I mean, frankly, there were already people that were likely going to go buy a ticket for Avatar to see the Doomsday trailer and walk out of the theater. And that probably seems crazy to some of you. Some of you are like, that is insane. But I've already talked about this a lot because that has been online. I mean, even Chris Gore himself said he would likely do this when he first talked about the trailer rumors. And the reason is because I don't think Chris really fucks with Avatar like that. A lot of people are like, bro, I don't really fuck with the blue people like that. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is like, that is kind of a questionable, like, what are we doing here, Disney sort of a thing.
Why? A
lot of people have mixed feelings about it, but it probably will work. Like, it will legitimately add money to the box office of Avatar. Now, the other reason this is happening is because of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which, if you didn't know, is on somewhat of a decline. The reality is Doomsday is a course correction. Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars are going to basically reset the Marvel Cinematic Universe back to when people actually really liked it. They're bringing Robert Downey Jr. back. Chris Evans is coming back as Cap. Maybe they're both playing multiple versions of the characters. RDJ is freaking Doctor Doom, but he's also maybe Tony. But on top of the movies themselves being maybe the most expensive movies and the largest movies that Marvel Studios has ever created. They are coupling that with what I have heard described as the most expensive and extensive marketing campaign in the history of the superhero movie genre. And a couple of months ago when I started saying that, people were like, no, I don't buy it, bro. I don't buy it. Well, now guess what? You're getting 4 fucking trailers, different ones that will connect in somewhat of a story, and it's all happening a year before the movie comes out. So I think I was right. This is crazy. This is nuts. Nobody's ever done anything like this. I think the closest had been some version of this that they did for House of the Dragon on HBO. Of course, James Gunn and the DCU has taken sort of a different approach where they bring a bunch of influencers and Hollywood people like journalists and have them see the trailer early and then create buzz that way. The point I'm trying to make is people are thinking outside of the box. People are trying to do marketing in a fresh new way. This move from Marvel is pretty brilliant. It will change the conversation about Doomsday. It's literally almost like they are dropping episodes of a television show leading up to some kind of finale. Like, it's going to create that level of buzz, that level of water cooler talk between the 2 or the 4 trailers. And then when it's all said and done, there will be a whole new conversation about the Avengers Doomsday movie, which is all intentional. This is what Marvel wants to do. So that's basically why this is happening. I've tried to show you the proof of why we're pretty certain this is a thing. By the way, of course, I'm going to be doing coverage of all the trailers, and we'll talk more about that on stream on Monday. But the next question, of course, is like, what are these trailers, right? 4 separate trailers. The first one's like looking like 125. The rest are probably around the same, which probably gives you like overall close to 5 minutes of footage when it all is said and done, and that's pretty wild. So what do we expect to be in these trailers? Well, the first thing I'll say is I expect these trailers to look absolutely incredible, okay? And look, first teasers, generally speaking, actually don't look that great. Like, even the Deadpool Wolverine trailer, the footage and the way that the whole thing looked at the very start was changed radically by the time they got to the actual film. A lot of color correction, a lot of visual effects added. Hell, even Superman had a lot of work done on it from its first trailer to the last couple of trailers, and of course for the film itself. Supergirl looks pretty sharp in some ways. Like, some of the visual effects looks great, but some of the action does not look that great. And I would imagine it's going to look way better in the next trailer and way better for the actual film. But I don't think that's going to happen for Avengers Doomsday. And one of the reasons why is because the scoopers and leakers have kind of been teasing that this is the best looking Russo movie ever. And I think part of why that is because they picture locked a lot of the VFX sequences like almost a year ago. Remember that they delayed this movie by 7 months, and yet it was on track as far as a shooting schedule for a May release. So when they delayed it, they did not stop filming. They just kept filming and kept working and kept having the VFX department work on these shots and tweak the visual effects. So this trailer, I expect, first of all, to be mind-blowing in the way that it looks. It's going to look absolutely incredible. On top of that, what it is going to show us is going to blow our fucking minds as well, because one of the very first rumors that Chris Gore gave us was that you're going to see Doctor Doom, and he's going to be doing magic. He's going to be fighting like they are showing you Doctor Doom. What Gore said was this is not a teaser trailer. Maybe that was in reference to this whole 5-minute picture, which is going to tell a story and could not possibly be a teaser at 5 fucking minutes of footage. But what I'm really trying to say, the point I'm trying to make is this thing's going to look incredible. This thing's going to have action that will blow your mind. Next thing, structure. Well, the current rumor and what a lot of people think is going to happen is this is going to focus on the different teams. And although there could be some truth in that, in the sense that like maybe one trailer is heavy on X-Men, maybe one trailer is heavy on Fantastic Four, I actually don't think that's the structure that they will use. I could be wrong here. Maybe it is exactly what people are saying and it has the structure of the different teams. But from what I've heard, these trailers are going to tell a story. These trailers are actually going to focus on a few characters mostly. I don't know exactly who all the characters are, but one of them is obviously going to be Doctor Doom, RDJ's Doctor Doom. And one of the other obvious characters here is going to be Steve Rogers, okay? So there's a lot out there about this whole thing. I'll do a lot more videos about it. I've already made a lot of content on it. But there's this massive rumor that Steve Rogers and him going back after he put all the Infinity Stones back and possibly living with Peggy Carter on the Sacred Timeline, there was something about that that caused problems, or that Doctor Doom wants to stop, or that made Doctor Doom want to have revenge on Steve Rogers. There's a lot of different ways this could go, but essentially Steve Rogers is also a really important part of this movie. I think the marketing for this film is really going to sell it as RDJ Doctor Doom versus Chris Evans Captain America, which seems probably a little bit odd, but trust me, it's going to make sense when you see it. I'll explain it in other videos and things of that nature as well. Another thing that I think could be in this trailer is essentially the setup for what I call the greatest retcon in the history of Hollywood. And I'm talking about RDJ Doctor Doom, and I'm talking about RDJ Tony Stark, okay? And essentially, guys, there's this big rumor. I've had this theory since basically it was announced that RDJ was coming back, that they were going to kind of reverse Uno what most people thought was happening here. I think when you bring RDJ in as Doom, the first thought the audience has is like, oh, so this is going to be an Iron Man variant that becomes Doctor Doom. And sure, like totally, that I understand that line of thinking completely, but I think Marvel is actually taking that and flipping it on its head, and therefore they will retcon the character of RDJ's Tony Stark so that he was always a Victor Von Doom variant. And I feel incredibly confident that that's what's going on, although we don't know for sure, and a lot of scoopers aren't going to say that, and they're not telling me that either, right? This is just something that I've kind of pieced together, a theory I have, and I think the thing that's weird about it is all the evidence, like everything that comes out about this film, fits well within that box. So I continue to believe that that's what it is. Are they really going to save that retcon for the movie? Or will they tease or set up the idea of that retcon in the trailers? And my gut tells me that it's impossible to basically market this film or tease this movie or to set up the hype and the anticipation for this film without talking about that. So what I'm anticipating here, guys, is that we will get a trailer, or maybe the summation of all the trailers will tell us that yes, that theory is correct, that this massive retcon is coming, that the story we were told of 616 was a lie. I mean, I'll even go as far as to say I think you could see the character of Steve Rogers being blamed for not setting the universe back the way that it should have been. But that's pretty crazy, and there's not a ton of evidence to support that. It's just like sort of a gut feeling that I have. If we're going strictly off of what the evidence suggests, then it's really going to be more of how Doctor Doom had a family, possibly even this rumor that he had a universe where he was married to Sue Storm and he had the son of Franklin as his child. That could be true as well. And the reason I say that is because a lot of scoopers have been talking about this. So I think they saw this or heard that this was in the trailer a while ago, and that's why they've been reporting it. So it's possible that they don't tease the retcon thing as much and instead try to make people think that Doom, this Doom, RDJ Doom, was just a Doctor Doom in a fake universe that lost his family, and now he's going out to try to save the multiverse or something like that. I'm not exactly sure, but they could do something like that. The biggest question I have ultimately is, how are they marketing this film? How much of the secrets of this movie are they still trying to keep close to the vest? I'm not really sure, but we're going to get a lot of answers in the next couple of weeks. And of course, guys, look, I'm going to be making videos about this. We're going to be doing live streams. I will probably go watch the trailer as soon as I possibly can in theaters. I will walk out, do an out-of-theater reaction, and then I will literally drive home, flip on this camera, go live stream, and hang out with you guys and talk about what I just saw. So that's probably going to happen 4 times in the next 4 weeks. I will not be seeing my family much for the holidays. Thanks a lot, Kevin Feige. Anyway, let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. By the way, I'm going to drop another video tomorrow, Sunday, so maybe you're seeing this on Sunday or one of the other days, but I'm going to drop another video where I'm going to literally go over a brand new leak about what this trailer is supposedly including. It has Magneto, it's got some Sentinel stuff, it's crazy. So we'll talk about that. That's going to be in a video tomorrow, so make sure you check that out as well. And as I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.